Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Welcome to the Journeymen Lounge podcast. I am 1/3 of your hosting trio. Bobby, don't spill a fucking drink or I'll stab you in the neck. Just kidding. I'm Woj. We got
Scott Calvin.
SC.
And Kenny fucking Powers.
Kenny fucking Powers. Bobby is repping the nice... Is
Charos.
it churro?
Charos.
With an A. Charos.
Charos, yeah.
55. Kenny Powers, dude. If you haven't seen Eastbound and Down...
Go see it.
Go see it. It's worth the watch for sure. So we're coming to you the day after Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Let's just ask the gentleman, how was your guys' holiday season? Let's go the whole encompassing. How was the holiday season? I don't know. Someone.
Me? It's fine, I guess. I don't know. Just working a lot and whatever. Yesterday was fun though. I had the day off, Tuesday off and yesterday. We had a work party kind of thing at the work. Just gotta hang out and talk, and they got like some drinks and whatever.
Did you partake in the bubbly?
No, I did not, but I partook in the joint.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
And then and my boss got me it was an awesome gift. He gave me something, and also it came with a baseball card. And if you watch The Wire, it's Gus Triandos.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's cool.
Do you remember? Do you guys watch The Wire?
Yeah.
I remember the scene. I don't remember the.
Okay, well,
I can't pull.
It's a guy.
The,
Well, the whole thing with him is like the Kirk. Like, oh, who would you have? What's a guy you would have sex with to have sex with a girl, with a woman? And he's like, it doesn't make me gay, right? Or something. He says this whole thing, and then he's like, all right, just tell me, man, it's fine, just do it. He's like, Gus Triandos. It's like the most random person.
I will put in the episode the picture,
the reference,
because I now have to look it up and be like, oh yeah.
So anyway, it's a bit from The Wire. Great show.
Also a great show.
But anyway, and then on yesterday, so that was fun.
Saw some movies, right?
And yesterday, me and my brother and sister went to go see A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic.
Oh, how was that?
Timothy Chalamet. Dude, it was good, man. Or like I would at least
Timothy
say
Chalamet,
Timothy
right?
Chalamet is fantastic.
Dude,
They're all fantastic. First of all, he does like a great Bob Dylan voice. Actually, like he looks like him. They got the look down, and not only that, he sings and plays the guitar. He does the whole thing, and he does it while being Bob Dylan. So he's like,
that's a tough voice to cover,
right?
Because Bob Dylan is very unique,
and it's very easy to like make fun of. But his actually sounds like normal and like legit. Like it's very good. The movie was pretty good. There's like not much on the plot. It's just like the time from 61 to 65 before he goes electric, and it's like a big deal at this festival. But it's done very well. I definitely recommend it.
Okay. And did you double dip or just the one?
No, just the one. It's popping at the movies. By the way, it was busy.
Oh, dude, Christmas is always busy.
Well, Ryan told me the other week there's like Christmas.
They're open every day.
Any holiday movie theaters are open. I was like, no.
I used to go on Thanksgiving sometimes, like after dinner.
Solid.
Yeah.
That honestly, dude, that does sound very nice to be like full of food.
Digest the food, yeah.
Well, what I would do is I'd be stuffed from like dinner, right? And then I'd just go like, all right, well, I got some cookies in my pocket or some fucking sweets.
I remember going to see Roman J. Esquire on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
The fuck is that?
That's a Denzel movie from 2017, I think.
Never seen it.
Yeah, it's okay. But I digress. Bobby, how was yours?
It was great. I had a few celebrations. So Saturday was with my parents, my siblings. Christmas Eve was with me and my fiance, and then Christmas Day was with her parents. So a lot of good food, a lot of good times. You know, being able to just unwind and relax felt good because my job heavily focused on quarter-end activities, so I'm working around the clock. Like New Year's Day is me working till midnight. So
is there, just real quick on that, so like when the clock strikes 12:01, do you have like a little thing of like, I'm going to have a drink and just go like, okay.
I still do that. Yeah, I still have like a glass of whiskey. Like, all right, New Year, let's start this off right, you know.
I like that. For me, my...
so much good food, though.
I did stuff with family on Saturday. Had my niece's birthday on Sunday. We were supposed to get dinner.
Al Michaels, hell yeah.
With some other family friends on Monday, and unfortunately, just people got sick. So both of my brothers were sick. Jeremy's family was sick. I had an uncle that was sick out. I had a cousin that was sick. So it was just a lot of people sick, and then you're trying to make do. So like I still did the stuff that I do. I went to Christmas Eve at my dad's. He was hosting, had like 40 people.
How is your
over.
dad? I love your dad.
He's
fun,
the
dude.
best. Gregory A. Productions over here. Yeah, no, he's doing good, man. But then Christmas days with my mom. So like it just was like we still did stuff. It still had the nostalgic feel,
but
but
toned
like,
down a little bit.
It's just when people aren't there, it's just like you're missing a part of the thing of like, as I was telling Bobby before. So I got a new camera for the
very cool
podcast here.
Oh, is that right now?
Yeah, 2020. No, it's not right now, but
we're not using it right now because
2025 is going to start off with.
We're
going
to be in HD.
Yeah.
Well, 4K, whatever the fuck that means.
I'm not sure if that's going to be good for us. I'm old.
No, but it should be a step up though. But usually on those days, like I am kind of opening stuff up to go like, oh, that's cool. I got this thing. I'm gonna, mess around with it. If you got like a board game, usually you play it on the Christmas day or
which we're doing soon. I'm stoked.
Yeah, we should have some stuff from this Saturday. Hopefully, Aaron is
feeling
better
yeah.
Because he was supposed to host. But again, I think we'll do something in some variety. And again, hopefully that's in 4K. But we'll be switching
format
soonish,
soon, yeah.
And we'll figure all that ish out. So let's get into fantasy. It's a tough subject for me. No, I'm out.
He got into 4 playoffs and he's done.
Got into 4 playoffs, lost 2 the first week, lost 2 the second week, and the only thing I'll really say is just that
he got into 4 playoffs though. That's pretty fucking sweet.
I definitely think that that's a good accomplishment to go like, hey, across the board, I'm making good moves, drafting good people or making acquisitions that guys that go off. The part that always hurts though is that when you go out in playoffs, and as I was telling you guys, like sometimes there's just some shit ways to lose the game of fantasy.
Certainly is.
Like fucking Jalen Hurts getting a fucking concussion.
Yeah, on my bingo
topic.
card,
Yeah,
I didn't have Jalen Hurts going down in the first quarter, and then I was like,
I could feel his pain. From,
dude, I'm doing this scrolling like
cost me 2.
Refresh. I'm like refresh.
Q.
Finally goes from Q and then finally goes to the O.
I saw it in your text. I'm like, oh great, and he's 4.5 fucking points.
And I was just like, yep, that's the way. Because this is the thing that I've learned from fantasy football is that when you lose a quarterback in the playoffs. Quarterback, it could even sometimes be like a running back, higher guys up, wide receivers that are producing. But quarterback, nonetheless, I knew immediately from there, I'm like, it doesn't matter what my guys are going to do. It's over. Which, honestly, it felt a little bit all right because I was like, all right, man, next year we'll fucking do it again, ride it again. But how'd your guys' fantasy week turn out?
Well, I also lost. I had a first-round bye. I had the best team the whole year, and the guy who beat me both times beat me again.
Damn.
Because
repeat. Dude,
well, I think I said this before, but the first 2 times were both weeks. This is the 2 quarterback. You're the bumper league,
Bumper league, sure.
Bullshit.
Each of the weeks, one of my quarterbacks was on bye, so I had to play him with either no quarterback and someone else or whatever. And then this time, I finally had both quarterbacks, and Jalen Hurts gets hurt. It's fucking done.
That hurt a lot of people, though.
And I think I put up like almost 130 still, but the guy put up like 150 something. So
Which I think for a 2 quarterback is like kind of the
that's a lot.
No, 150 is more.
Oh, dude, yeah, normal.
What's like an average middle line?
Like 120. Like if you get 120, you should be good, but it's not a guarantee. But you would feel decent about it.
Now, is that you think because there are certain positions like overall, like tight ends that they don't produce?
Well, it depends
overall.
how you draft. I mean, like if I had Lamar and Jalen Hurts, it's going to be a big benefit to me, to draft those quarterbacks early. And then I also drafted well after the fact. In spite of that, like I got Ken Walker and Cooper Kupp and Garrett Wilson like in the 7th, 8th, like all these like it's only a 10-man league. Get granted again, but well again, but it's 2 quarterbacks. So
2 quarterback 10-man league is wild.
Yeah, well,
let's just leave it.
Makes it interesting.
Makes it interesting.
I could see that because everyone's playing studs.
Yeah.
Every week.
Everyone's playing. It's competitive. But anyway, I lost.
I'll say this. For both of mine, if I set the ideal lineup, I still lost, which, I mean, you could get some hope in that. But the one thing that killed me in my work league, I want to speak to this a little bit. I'm up by 26 points, right? 26, 27 points. And he has Justin Jefferson. Who puts up 170, 2 touchdowns, 10 receptions, and here's me.
Where was that last week? Thanks a lot.
Were you watching it happen? Because
yes,
he basically,
in real time. I was like, all right, go to Addison. Nope, JJ.
But
nope.
there was just like a stretch where I was just like, oh, it's Justin Jefferson. Jefferson again. Jefferson touchdown.
Right.
Then another catch.
And then I think by halftime I was like, it's over. Like, I'm not even going to watch it.
Once you see it's trending that way.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I can't keep enduring this thing, one stab motion after another. Now, I want to bring up something, and Harbaugh, you'd never fire him. Harbaugh or whatever.
Hubba.
The fact that Lamar and fucking Henry were still playing when they were up over 2 possessions blows my mind. By third quarter, I would have fucking put him on the bench.
I vehemently disagree.
I would say also I would maybe disagree too because the Ravens have notoriously blown leads this year multiple times.
That deep. Okay, but would you agree that the Baltimore defense was not letting Houston do shit all game?
I didn't see anything of the game. I don't know.
Okay, well.
We'll just tell you. Houston scored 2 points and it was a safety.
I heard about that.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that there is an acceptable time in which to pull your guys. The third quarter, I think you have to be up at least 4 scores.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I think that's a general.
Let me explain why bullshit. Okay, this is week 17.
Okay.
They're not going to win the first seed.
Yeah, Chiefs clinched.
Chiefs clinched already earlier.
They're going for the division.
No, even division.
No.
Pittsburgh can still win out, and if
thought,
Baltimore loses, they lose the division.
Doesn't matter. They have a playoff berth.
But home field advantage is a big deal.
This is why I disagree. Okay,
but even still, you're up. What was it by mid third quarter? It was like 31-2, and they had Lamar.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
they
it
didn't
was.
score their last touchdown until like the.
Okay, but you're up 3
end
possessions.
Of the third quarter.
3 possessions. No, Henry, Lamar, you're chilling out.
I think you're just like. You have your opinion of when to pull people.
Okay.
I think
so. Some jackass who just wants to hurt you because why not?
Dude, injuries happen. I mean, what are you going to do?
You're up 3 possessions and it happens in like late third quarter because you want to bump the lead a little bit more.
I mean, that's also another
whole quarter to play.
There's also
who gives a shit? Houston.
What do you mean?
I
who
moved
gives
first.
A shit?
Okay, Bobby's offense had more production than Houston's offense that day.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, dude. What happens when the backup that you just put in throws a pick 6?
Who gives a shit?
Famous playoff game with the Bills and the Oilers or Frank Reich.
If you're
over
over
back from
3
like 30 points.
Okay, if you have more than a 2 possession or 2 touchdown lead, so they're up like I think like 17, right? Time to put in the backups.
No, I disagree.
Oh, I disagree.
Fourth quarter.
Until they get injured, and then, guess who's in the fucking...
yeah, but you're also going with, like, coulda, woulda, shoulda if he got in. He didn't get injured, though.
But
so
the fact is,
okay,
I guess for me, their defense was stomping on Houston. That's why I'd be like, you know what? Put in the backups.
Again,
I don't even care.
They've blown leads this year many times.
I understand that, but I'm saying the way the defense was playing... They wouldn't have blown it.
I think, Bobby, that you're kind of putting the great tackling.
Charbonnet, what of it?
I think you're putting though a lot of the like you're standing on a hill of like this isn't even an egregious example of this. Talk about Derrick Rose.
I was thinking that too the whole time.
Derrick Rose is an example of like
that's when you take him out with 1 minute left in the game. You're
1 minute,
12
2 minutes
or
left.
Whatever. Yeah,
they're up double
I'm
digits.
saying there was a reasonable lead. The defense was playing stellar. No reason to keep him in.
I think you when you own that team and you make those
as an owner, I would actually probably vote to make that happen.
And this is where we put asterisk.
What?
I am an owner. Kiss my ass.
Technically.
I am technically an owner. Blow me.
Technically. And we'll put some asterisks there. For those who don't know, Bobby is a
owner.
I own the Packers, baby.
Of the Green Bay Packers.
Aaron Rodgers used to report to me.
The stuff that you did get from them, I actually like that part that they're like.
It's in my car right
they
now.
They give you all that stuff. That's pretty cool. All right. We'll go real quick as we kind of wrap up. Like fantasy implications, basically for the end of the year, they're over. Everybody's out of playoffs. I know you guys still want to have.
I want to hit a podium finish.
You know,
we'll see.
Still want to.
Again, 3 penis wine, pretty quick. 3 penis wine. My team goes off this week. Where was this last week?
Dude, you're just on that hate train right now.
Man, well, Justin Jefferson, he dropped that pass. Last week, it's like 2 touchdowns. Again, I feel like I have like the best team, but I lose in the first round, and I'm just done.
Is Kyle still in it in all of them?
He lost to Serge. No, Serge is in it against. I don't know who he's
Serge is around.
Serge is playing
Serge.
Vince, I believe.
Well, dude, he's played the Atlanta defense the last 2 weeks, and they've gone for like 30 points.
I know, it's unreal. Who would have thought Atlanta's D? Because they were waiver wire.
I don't know about this week if they're going to do that, but we'll see.
I mean, yeah, we can mention the championship in 3 penis wine, but honestly, if I'm not in it, I don't give a fuck.
I heard Sean's in it. There's Sean in a different league. The same Sean that's 1-14 and
oh wow,
or 1-15. Sean was saying it was Danny's college buddies. I think he's in the championship for there, but he's also 1-15 in our league.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
he's about to get the Sacco. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I think I mentioned on previous ones. Jeremy is the Sacco. I'm going to try
and what killed me this year. Sorry, last thing is I bet on DJ Moore doing well and being part of like a rising Bears offense.
Sure.
Because I had Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and that didn't work out. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, DJ Moore has been.
Well, did we want to give away like we just think like some of our worst picks that didn't pan out?
Yeah. So this is what I wanted to mention just for Jeremy is the Sacco. I'm gonna unfortunately for you, bro, you're the Sacco and you live 12 minutes away from me, so I am gonna unfortunately try and enforce some of the rules, which I think are generalized in this league of like. I can ask you to go get me a beer bitch.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think it's a very easy request to be done.
You guys should incorporate the IHOP challenge.
I am definitely voting in the next upcoming election. Not election, was it amendment? I don't know. But like amendments.
Congress is in session.
Amendments to the
town
league.
Town meeting.
You know, but definitely throw up some stuff of like, hey, let's get more Sacco punishment so that people have a way of feeling if they got Sacco. Like barely, like when Jeremy was officially a Sacco, basically I was like, oh, hey man, you're the Sacco. He's like, yeah, my team sucked. Like that was his response. Like most of the people, like in Dan in the other league, like he's like, fuck Sacco, I hate this. Like verbally, and it's fun for us.
Yeah.
Because I get to see him complain. And
I've
he's
seen
like,
another
Sacco
one.
is the worst thing. I'm like, yeah, don't get it.
Which would be funny is you have to ride the blue line constantly for like 12 hours, but you're in like tutu and like a t-shirt and like you're dressed.
As long as somebody was bringing me food, like food and water and
they did the
booze
12-hour
or
thing.
something like
You're there from 8 to 8. You're on the blue line.
I could do that with food, but if you're gonna go like, hey, you can't have any food.
No, I'm thinking the guy had a backpack full of food or whatever, but that was another
some
punishment.
Sandwiches. How many?
They did either the blue line or red line special. I forget what it's called, but I would rather be on the blue line.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that one's gonna be really coming alive in 3 penis wine. But
that's gonna be a hard sell.
Hard sell.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in terms of what Ryan was kind of talking about.
Yeah, just like picks that did not pan out that you thought. Like I start for me, the big money league. Gus Edwards took him in like the 7th round. I thought. San Diego, Jim Harbaugh running back. Now, my thinking was correct in the thinking of it that the San Diego running game would be better. However, J.K. Dobbins was actually the guy. Not
I have 2 more.
But even J.K. Dobbins didn't do as well as people like. He had some good
initially
games,
though. He did great. But yeah, so that was a bad one for me. Obviously, Tyreek Hill did not pan out. Right. Miami Dolphins offense.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
Ken Walker was hit and miss. When he was in, he was awesome, but he was hurt a lot, so that was kind of rough. Pickens came on later in the year. Laporta was a terrible pick. That's a bad one. I don't know.
For me, Stroud.
Yeah.
Huge miss.
Yeah.
DJ Moore hurt, and who was my tight end? Ingram. Fucking shoot me in the foot.
I mean, I think everybody pretty much outside of Bowers and maybe McBride was like just a toss, you know. Like,
sure. No, I get that, but it was just like, man, like Ingram, I was expecting a better year out of you.
Dude, I know.
That's all I'm going to say.
I took Laporta in the 5th round. I thought, I'm getting a steal in the 5th. Hell yeah, Laporta. He was the number 1 last year and doesn't do shit.
Apparently, everybody knew that he wasn't going to be part of the offense that much. I will go with in the 3 penis wine in a couple leagues. I went with DeAndre Swift. It wasn't.
He had some good weeks.
It wasn't
not great
to
though.
me. I didn't pick him just because he's a Bears player and I want to watch him all the time. I did take him later in picks, later in drafts, but running backs unfortunately went pretty quick. And if you go wide receiver first, you're left with slim pickings at the backside. So I went with DeAndre Swift. I also went with Zach Moss in a couple leagues.
Ooh.
So like my running backs in every league but the big money league were pretty trash, and that was kind of my downfall of those. I was also on the CJ Stroud bandwagon. Like he was doing just enough for my team to win, but when I really needed it, like he wasn't great. I had Sam Darnold, like just too late.
On the flip side, let's go with.
Hold on. Sorry, man.
My bad. I mean, you.
I was getting to the last thing.
He's
here
wrapping
real
up.
quick,
I apologize.
No, just the last one on the League of Assholes though is I just think that I trust, like DJ Moore was a receiver that was there, took him. I go he's going to be decent with Caleb Williams throwing him the ball, and Keenan Allen kind of is reaping the rewards of that. So I just picked the wrong Bears receiver, and not having a wide receiver in that league putting up. If I had the running back and the quarterback that I had, Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and Derrick Henry with a solid wide receiver, it would have been a nice
a game changer.
It would have been a nice thing to have some sort of competent receiver.
Yes.
In that league.
No, I was gonna say on the flip side, your best pick, maybe something that like a diamond in the rough type of thing.
I got mine.
I have 2. I'll go with
ahead.
Chase Brown in the 9th round. I drafted him. I was
Very
like,
nice.
when I drafted him, I was so hating it. I'm like, I can't believe I'm gonna make this pick. I was like cringing. I'm like, I don't want to take Chase Brown. Turned out to be one of the best picks ever. And then for most of the year, I had before week 1, I believe. I think like right before week 1, I picked up Bucky Irving, and actually he didn't really pan out till I traded him away, unfortunately. But I was right on him, and he did turn out to be a great pick as well. So I would go with those 2 guys for me.
Bobby, what you got?
I got Chuba Hubbard. He played well for a really horrible team.
Yeah, he was good.
Chuba Hubbard did well. I picked up Mooney on the waiver in one of my leagues.
Nice.
And I'm not a big fan of him just based on his performance in Chicago.
I mean, he was so hit or miss on the fucking Atlanta.
Right, but he panned out for me when I needed him.
Right. I was gonna say he panned out up
He had
until
some
the
big
point,
weeks.
point
Exactly.
of like the playoffs or games to decide the playoffs.
And a
then
rookie that I grabbed that I started him recently in our 3rd place, 4th place is Xavier Worthy. He did okay.
Yeah. He's been
a little inconsistent in the middle, but I like the fact that he's starting to show up.
I think going into next year is going to be more valued, although they don't have Rashee Rice right now, so that kind of muddies the water a little bit. But
I think he's better than Rashee
Hollywood
Rice,
Brown came back.
Yeah, that's the only thing with the Chiefs is like that like
they're gonna
somebody's
be
going to
productive.
do well. It's just who's going to do well? Like it could be any of these.
Noah's coming up, dude. Watch out for Noah for tight end. He's been looking
Noah
good for
Gray,
the Chiefs. Yeah, Noah Gray, exactly.
I can see it. I would also just say though that I want to say one more thing of like somebody that I acquired later in the year though that I thought was like real.
I was thinking for you, Woj. I was like taking fucking Saquon and Derrick Henry in the same
Saquon
draft.
and Derrick Henry. I got Derrick Henry in another.
People
league.
are sleeping on both of them.
He was excellent, and then I also just mentioned though that if Nico Collins stayed healthy, I think that would have also bumped up CJ Stroud's kind of ceiling.
Yes.
Then.
And Diggs got hurt too.
True, but I think Diggs was definitely
eventually tanked out.
Diggs in his career right now is definitely a possession receiver, though. He's not the guy I think that's going to beat you over the top. For
I think he's kind of like their version of Keenan Allen.
Yep,
like,
or a Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And then I would just say guys that fucking were excellent. I had Brock Bowers.
I had
Bowers,
good
good
Bowers
pickup.
in one league
Good
as well.
pickup.
I love a rookie though that goes off, dude. That's always the fucking best. And then who the fuck? I don't even have a good guy in this fucking league. Damn. Yeah,
no wonder why we're not sitting in the championship.
Well, 3 penis
game.
wine. I mean, just like the running back shit was so awful that I was like one point playing Alexander Madison on Las Vegas. I'm like, what the fuck has my fantasy?
Do you hate
team?
yourself? Is this like a cry for help?
I'm just
Do
saying,
we need to
dude,
call someone?
what I will never do again is I will never neglect the running back position because it was so horrific that you have to have a running back that performs at a running back one.
You know, it's like I tell myself that every year, and then I always somehow seem to ignore it in part of the draft just because like you want to get value, so you think like, oh well, I could take this guy, or I could take like, I don't know, Mike Evans or something like a number one.
I like a Mike Evans.
I do like a Mike Evans. He was good though, but just saying, you know, then it's like then you go into the season and then like you're hurting for our running backs and like. You can always pick up a receiver.
Wide receivers are, I'd say you have a lot more opportunity grabbing something off the waiver wire and a wide receiver versus
100%.
a running back.
You could like pick some like Puka last year, like, you know.
Puka, I had him this year. Oh,
like there's just always just someone that you can scour for and that'll probably pan out in the receiver. But,
I mean, yeah, I think just in general, the draft is always a time that as soon as one person pick somebody early or something like that, there's always a water or cascading effect of like somebody else coming in. Yeah. Tight ends are going. I got to get a tight end right now. I was like, that guy could have waited 2-3 rounds, and then it kind of moves everybody's pieces around there.
Definitely making a note to myself, like in draft day next year, go running back no matter what. I'm gonna keep it in my pocket.
I got. All right, no. One thing I want to mention early on when we were starting this, like scroll. You guys thought that me not picking CeeDee Lamb was dumb, and I got Breece Hall. Breece Hall was the better pick.
Was he? CeeDee Lamb's been pretty good.
I mean, can I ask you, Bobby, because when you said this, I just kind of...
I don't think you're right.
I am right. You can check it out.
Are you 100% certain that you've looked up that Breece Hall's fantasy points is more than CeeDee Lamb?
It is.
I don't think so.
If you did...
No, but you guys thought it was like a huge disparity. Like this was a mountain to a molehill.
Well, if I believe...
I'll believe.
I can... No, but if I believe I can remember correctly...
Go ahead,
if I remember correctly...
graphic.
I'm pretty sure, though, that I was like, Breece Hall is rated for me way higher. Like he was the second running back in some
leagues,
ranking system and stuff like that, second or third. And I was like, I don't think the Jets offense are going to be doing that well. So for me, when you go, I went Breece, that's why I had that aversion like to it to go like, yeah, that's a dumb pick.
But hold on, didn't you have a little bit more hope for the Jets now that Rodgers was healthy?
I had some hope, but then when they got Devontae, then I'm more on board. But at the initial start of the draft at the year, Rodgers with Wilson is not a matchup or a connection that I'm like really high on. It's of the dip. With
that though, I thought Breece Hall was going to get more involved because if they don't have an established connection, you got to work your run game.
Can I tell you that Breece Hall should have outscored CeeDee Lamb by 1 billion?
Significantly,
if they used him correctly, and I do believe Breece Hall also missed a couple games. So
he did.
That
he missed,
does. I mean, Ryan, did you have the figures?
I'm trying.
Okay.
Really struggle my phone here.
It's all right. You could connect to the Wi-Fi. We're good enough friends.
CeeDee Lamb is the wide receiver number 4 on the year.
Do you have a number?
36 overall.
Do you have a number?
Points number.
Just look at his week or something.
Yeah, sorry, game log.
Just a total fantasy points.
Kind of get an idea.
Total tank. I mean, he's got a lot, dude. I don't know.
See that dominating
11,
defense?
17, 6.7, 20, 8.9, 12.6, 33, 12, 5, 14.6, 11, 4, 18, 22, 14. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's CeeDee?
Do you have a total number?
No, I don't have it. That's what I'm saying.
All right, no, CeeDee. Okay, I didn't realize he had some of those bigger hits early.
I don't have a calculator.
Hold on, I'll pull up.
Okay, I thought you could just search it.
No.
Okay, Bobby, so you were 100% just talking out of your ass then that Breece Hall did better.
Oh, no, I think well, now I think equivalent, but I didn't think that CeeDee had some.
So
CeeDee had so many of those like big days. I don't know.
I love you, dude, but
you're
wrong. And just
wait now.
You're good, man.
There we go. Here.
Let Let's see. So yeah, Breece Hall's the number 43 overall. CeeDee Lamb's number 36. So they're close, but and Breece Hall's the number 16 overall running back, whereas CeeDee Lamb was number 4 receiver.
All right, I guess I stand corrected, but whatever. I'm not going to draft
Face.
it. Whatever. You're a Dallas fan. I get that.
But yeah, they're
I'm
both
not
solid
denying
players.
it. The fucking
I'll just say that Breece
Cowboys.
didn't fail to meet at least some requirements.
They were both better than Tyreek Hill.
yeah, Tyreek Hill is fucking trash. All right,
Everyone was on Waddle's nuts too, and I
never.
Waddle.
I don't like
definitely-
Godwin. There you go, Bobby. Sorry, I don't believe in Godwin.
He was good.
I mean, I think he can get
Right here.
injured a lot, which is a
I got more stable
wasn't
knees
it-
and ankles.
Wasn't it
than
when
that
he
guy.
got hurt? He was like the number, I don't know, like 5 receiver.
he was
something
definitely
over-
doing work.
Yeah.
But I will just say though that Godwin has been injury prone. That's why he's definitely was lower on my list.
No, but that's the same paradox with Saquon and maybe not Henry, but Saquon being injured. A lot of people were
That's
soured
why
on
I
him.
didn't take him. He screwed me the one year like 5 years ago. And
Same thing with CMC for 1 year for me.
I can
too.
never take him again.
And I will say, as we're complaining about fantasy years, we are going to have Adam, my esteemed colleague, on.
We need him on. Jesus.
Adam is going to go through his fantasy year because I will tell you guys, you are going to sit there and like every time he's like, and then this happened, and then this happened. You're going to be like, oh god damn. Fuck.
Well, I know he just missed the playoffs in 3 penis wine.
Well, that's what makes it worse is that like his team was decimated with injury. Like every week he was texting me like, oh yeah, great, he's fucking on the IR now, or like he's out for 2
That's how
weeks.
my team was for a
So
while.
he was definitely reeling in it, but I want to have the Adam Miller story, fantasy 2024.
It's like a Dateline special.
But yeah, I definitely will get him on.
Sit down with Barbara
I know
Walters.
Jeremy was talking
Who
about
did
getting
this
on.
to you?
Jeremy will get on soon. I got a laundry list. We're gonna get people on.
You
in
get
the
your
new
brother
year.
on. Sweet. All right.
That's gonna be some good shit. So let's just run through real quick state of the Bears, state of the Packers, because I think there's not really too much.
There's not much
improvement.
time left. Yeah.
I just look at it as let's just
stink.
If we can fast forward like I can, if we can sim to the rest of the season, I would choose that option.
Yeah.
I would definitely just
Simulate-
go. Can we just
simulate
simulate the next 2 weeks, get to the off season, and then see what happens? Because I've seen like obviously you hear a lot of shit with the Bears, but like people were saying like, okay, well now that you fire Eberflus, a lot of times you pair a GM and then allow them to make choices and stuff like that. Poles has been with the Bears 3 years?
Yeah.
This is his third year.
Something like that.
It's like, do you move on from your GM now? Which
I was
didn't
asking
even...
this very question.
Okay, so
The
what are
owners.
your take on it, Ryan? What's your take?
I think Poles is a mixed bag. He's had some great moves, like obviously getting the trade with Carolina and that stuff. But then he also has made some dumb moves, like trading for Chase Claypool. I don't know off the top of my head. That was like the first one that came to mind.
It was a bad one. Yeah.
Maybe even signing Keenan Allen this year. I mean, it looked good, but didn't really.
You guys didn't utilize.
I
him.
mean, let's
Or signing him and drafting a Dunze. Maybe you should just. I don't know. I like a Dunze though, but we need offensive line help.
Let's identify that the real reason that Poles, if he is fired, that he should go is that you're an offensive lineman and you didn't bolster the offensive line. It was one of the worst in the league. They let up the most sacks. It's just like, dude, to me, I was like, they made some moves like Nate Davis from Tennessee, but he was like terrible. He refused to play at one point. It's like, you gotta get.
He refused to play.
People will definitely.
He like faked it. What somebody said like is like he basically faked an injury where he like the day when
my
you're
hamstrings
the
tight,
day when
yeah.
you're supposed to like check in, like Sunday morning you get to the facility. He was like, "I'm sick. I can't play, coach." Like that's the short story.
I think most people would also say letting David Montgomery go. Like he's turned out to be really good.
Right, his touchdown machine.
I think he's better. He's in the Lions. I mean, I think he's talented, and the Bears obviously misused him, but I don't think he would have been doing as well on our team as he is on their team. So
I think that's a fair.
It is what it
assessment.
is.
Yeah. Right.
But then again, you're spending a lot of money on DeAndre Swift, who has also really panned out. So it's
But
like
also,
if you're going to replace him, you got to really replace him.
Which also you can tie to the offensive line being good.
Sure,
not good.
no, it's all cyclical, and I don't know. I think part of me thinks that it'd be good to have a GM and coach synced up together, and that's the way to do it. So I probably would go with that. I think that.
I just want to see a coach that comes in though and is able to get Caleb Williams to a point where he's a serviceable quarterback and win games. I mean, the thing that I like right now is that Pete Carroll. They said that nice fucking catch, dickhole. We're watching the Bears Seahawks game right now. But I like that Pete Carroll says that he's interested in the head coaching job, whether it's through sources or whatever.
Dude, he's like 10 years away from the grave.
He's in his 70s.
He's a youthful 70 though.
He's like
I just think though that it's a positive sign though that hey, maybe we can get somebody. Honestly, I look at get a guy with coaching experience. I don't want a fucking rookie head coach coming in.
You don't want Ben Johnson, the
reincarnate
Buddy.
But Ben Johnson,
Buddy Ryan, reincarnate him.
Ben Johnson's offense is great, but you can't look at that and going like, the pieces that they have are insane in Detroit. They have a great offensive line. They have great playmakers.
I know, but
and their defense until it got decimated was like fucking amazing.
I look at other teams who've taken young offensive coordinators and made them head coaches. Matt LaFleur, the Vikings one, Kevin O'Connell. You know, go on.
Sean McVay too.
Right, Sean McVay. Like we need a dude like that to go with Caleb to fucking groom him, and then we get a great defensive coordinator like a. Vic Fangio or whatever. And then, I think that's the way. It worked. Say what you will about Nagy, but that first year, that formula worked. We could have, I think, gone to the Super Bowl that year.
But Trubisky's numbers in that first year weren't amazing.
No, but he's not that good. But I think Caleb was better than him.
This is where I'm going with is that, if you get a guy that can get a quarterback to where he needs to be, then I think you have a solid 5 to 6 year stretch. I don't think the Bears have the capacity to get a coach and Tomlin is one of a kind, but I think a guy that Tomlin has spent his entire career as a head coach in Pittsburgh, and he will, without a doubt, there's no chance in my mind that Tomlin will go to any other team. No. I don't think the Bears will get a guy like that. We had that with George Halas, right?
That ship sailed.
But I think the Bears got to understand it's you're going to have more and more head coaches. You're not going to get a guy that's going to be there for 20 years.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Pete Carroll, honestly, though. That doesn't sound terrible.
I think it's a great pickup.
At least he's.
Would you guys agree that the Green Bay, you get a pick? Guess what? Your bench.
Hold on. Before you get into any other final thoughts on Bears? No, it's just fucking whatever. We'll figure.
Dude, I'm sorry.
We'll talk more about it as we keep going. What are you going to say about?
No, but
Packers,
I think that the Bears need to employ what Green Bay does. I'm going to get a great draft pick for a quarterback. Not incredible, not first, but I'm going to get a good draft pick. And guess what? Your bench for the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to learn under someone who really knows what they're doing.
We already had Caleb Williams.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, if you would have employed that logic, because all of the Green Bay quarterbacks, all the way from Favre, Rodgers, and even Love, they sat the first couple of years.
It's easy to do that when you have a legend in front of them. When you have Brett Favre in front of Aaron Rodgers, and you have Aaron Rodgers in front of Jordan Love, it's easy to sit a guy. Most teams don't have that. They can't do that.
No, the Bears by their own hand can't do that. Most teams can do that.
But Green Bay is a rare example where you guys have had 3 quarterbacks in 30 years. It's insane. It doesn't.
That does not.
Most people don't have that where it's you have to play this guy.
No, but I'm just saying. I think at some point you need to. At some point, Green Bay was horrible, but they're like, you know what? We're going to draft someone, and we're going to still put him on the bench so he could learn the game. And once he's understanding how things operate in the NFL. He's going to be more successful.
But again, I think the reason they were on the bench is because you guys had legends who were in there.
I know. I'm saying
older,
even during
older times, and you were looking to the future, but they were still good for 2 years or something.
Yeah, but you guys keep on doing the same routine. I'm saying you guys are going to have same results. What is insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You guys are in that same pattern.
Yeah, but around the league, people play their first year. It's not just the Bears.
I get that. I'm saying time to change it.
I absolutely agree that the Bears are in a repeating pattern because obviously we haven't had a quarterback that ends up coming through. But Bobby, you do have to understand that this does not happen in the. You have to get a Hall of Fame quarterback for then your protege to then be at a higher level.
Yeah.
If we brought in somebody who is maybe near the end of the, can I finish what the fuck I'm going to say?
Yeah, sure.
If you bring in somebody who has had a great career or something like that, you're more prone to then have that quarterback go. But again, the guy that you just mentioned, Nick fucking Foles, was a flash in the pan.
He was a heater.
He was on a heater at the fucking craps table, and guess what? He got a couple championships out of it. You can't argue anything.
You had the great Red Hope. I'm just saying you could have utilized
Andy Dalton.
I'm saying you could have utilized.
Come on, man.
Even you got to know what the fuck you're saying is ridiculous.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins still has a job.
I'm saying
he shouldn't.
A Hall of Fame.
Actually, no, he doesn't
guy.
have a job. They're cutting him.
Yeah.
Okay, but the reality is Penix at least saw 11 to 12 games of how the NFL
and the reality
runs.
is that was the dumbest move ever. You wasted $110 million
100% agree
first round pick
on a fucking dumb move for Atlanta. I'm just saying, God forbid you guys just say, hey, next season, it's already too late with Caleb Williams, but I'm saying at some point you need to fucking say, hey, we're going to have a shit season the next 2 seasons, but we're going to craft ourselves up something great for a quarterback.
The Bears have had shit seasons over the last
I'm just saying, but you guys never
20
changed
years,
the same
man.
But dude, you gotta look historically.
Formula.
But you're looking from the Packers' perspective.
I don't care.
Well, you should because it doesn't make sense.
Packers sucked for a long time.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Not when you were alive.
Not when I'm alive. I was in the glory days.
What the fuck are you
No,
talking
I'm just saying,
about?
in history of the Packers, they've always had better quarterbacks, but they allowed them to hibernate.
You had like a 20-year period where you were bad and then you were good again for the whole time.
But even our quarterbacks during that 20-year shit period weren't bad.
Yeah, they were. What?
Not that bad.
Yeah, they were. Okay, we gotta move.
Dude,
on
all right,
now.
whatever. You
Also,
guys
Don't say whatever when
whatever,
you're saying stuff that what Ryan said was right though, and you're looking through it through a Packers lens, which you just have to understand that the Bears. I agree with you. They should mix some shit up, but you have to understand that they are going with Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
They have traded away Justin Fields so that Caleb knows he's the guy. Yeah. And until Caleb Williams fails, completely, and they go, hey, you're no longer it, then they could repeat and try and do what you're saying.
In 36 months, we'll have the same conversation with the same result. I can't wait for episode 188. Hey, guys.
It has nothing to do with the quarterback thing. It has to do with the owners are dumb that we own the team. They screw the team every year.
I would like to definitely project or predict, rather, that I think Caleb Williams will get a second contract with the Bears. After that, I'm not so sure. But I believe he'll do enough in the first 3 years. I think he'll do enough.
I'll bet against that. I bet he walks.
Okay, I'll throw 5 on it.
All right, good.
And I'd also say, around the league, by the way, the last, let's say, 5 years at least, nobody sits on the bench the whole year. You may sit on the bench for half a season, 3/4 of a season, but you're playing. Even Drake May, he's playing. Fucking Jaden Daniels, he's playing. Like all.
I'm just saying, clearly something
Bo
works.
Nix playing. Everyone plays. That's how it works these days.
All those teams had to make that.
All that grooming the quarterback stuff, it might have worked. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it just rarely happens now.
All right, it's a great conversation. We're having fun.
Bring back the fullback. All right.
No, yeah,
I agree.
I definitely agree with that point. We got to get to the picks though before we wrap up this stuff.
Do picks.
So,
y'all pissed me off today,
I was always going to go Chiefs Ravens for the first 2. I will give an asterisk of a point if you guys. Okay. I mean, can we all agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Do that.
You can check our pick'em league. I picked both of them. Yeah.
Tonight's game, I was going to go Seattle. Bears don't know how to win, so.
Fuck it, Bears. Let's
Seattle, no, you guys are nuts.
Fuck it.
Charbonnet is gonna have a day.
He's going Seattle.
I win Seattle, dumbass. He is nuts right
Charbonnet.
now. Chargers, Patriots, Chargers.
Yeah.
Chargers.
Broncos, Bengals. I got the Bengals. We'll go Bengals. Fuck it. Why not?
Bengals.
Going Broncos.
Okay. Cardinals, Rams. I got the Rams.
RAMS. Let's go.
Yeah, I like that you did that. And then the next team is Jets, Bills. I got the Bills.
Bills, yeah, Jets suck.
Raiders, Saints. I got the Raiders. Why not?
I got the Aints.
Raiders.
Colts, Giants. Got the Colts.
Colts.
Cowboys, Eagles. Got the. Who's playing for? Is it Jalen Hurts?
Eagles still needs to play, I think. I'm still going Eagles.
I'll go Eagles. Yeah.
I'll go Eagles.
They still put up like 30 whatever points, even with Pickett.
I think I'll go Eagles. Yeah, Kenny Pickett came in.
I was like, I forgot he was the back. I'm like, who's that guy in? Like, who the fuck?
Who's that guy?
Who the fuck is that? I forgot.
We got Panthers, Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers.
Panthers.
I'm going Panthers too. Fuck it.
Okay. Titans, Jaguars again. And I mean, these are some who gives a shit Hall of Fame games.
Jaguars.
I'm gonna go Tennessee. They look all right.
You got Mac Jones behind center.
Why not?
Why not?
Dolphins, Browns. I got the Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah. Browns, they just don't have enough going for them.
Packers, Vikings. I have the Vikings.
I have the Packers.
Packers, let's go. Green and gold.
Okay. Falcons, Commanders. I have the Commanders.
Commanders.
Same. Commanders.
And then
in a rush.
Lions 49ers. I got the 49ers.
Get out of your fucking
Lions.
mind. Lions.
Oh, shit. I meant the Lions.
Nope. It's a
That's a
chess piece.
No,
right?
no. I was just looking at the name. I meant
right? He
Lions.
gave you that same business.
I asked a clarifying question.
49ers.
motherfuckers.
I'll extend him a courtesy.
Nah, fuck that.
I was just looking at the name. Fuck off. Okay. Guys, get me heated here. All right.
We have way too much time on this first segment, and I'm
It's
pissed
fine.
off at both you guys.
It's fine. Hone it in. All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
We're going to come back with my movie review this week, which was The Santa Claus. Classic Christmas cinema.
Love it.
And we'll take a quick break, get back with it. The Journeymen Lounge coming back at you. Fucking Bobby, some of your takes, man.
Whatever, man. At least I'm not lukewarm. I'm not middle of the fucking road.
It's fine. Just make better takes, though. So, Journeymen Lounge podcast. We are back. I have a fresh beer, which I will crack in 2 minutos. 2 segundos. I forgot the word for second in Spanish, but no big deal.
Say El Segundos.
I have no idea what it is.
It's not it.
Here we go. All right, so this is my pick. This is The Santa Claus
Would have been my pick, I said as well, but
with an E.
You're still in that
I'm
hater
in.
mode,
Oh,
man.
I'm not hating. I just want to say it's a great pick. I just want
Great pick.
I want to emphasize it was a great pick.
Yeah,
Also
so
would've
this
been my
is 1994, the golden years. Actually, that was the year with all the crazy Oscar ones, right? You said 94.
Well, that's a 95.
Jim Carrey went on.
Oh,
Not even
90
Oscars, but 94.
95.
The movies came out in 94. Yes,
Okay,
so it
okay.
was the same year, technically. Yes.
Gotcha. But this one, I mean, Tim Allen as the Santa Claus. I mean, he is for me, I mean, one of the best to play him, for sure. You also got Judge Reinhold in here. Not too many other. I mean, Peter Boyle plays a smaller part, but like not too many like mainstream actors
Well, you
here.
got the wife. She was in.
Wendy Crewson was in some stuff. I do agree with that. David Krumholtz as well.
Krumholtz, Bernard.
But
Bernard,
again,
yeah, I
I'm
was
just
gonna say
saying
he was in 10 Things I Hate
beyond
About You.
that,
Loved it.
and we'll get into some of the cast stuffs
Great movie.
later. But I'm just saying, it's not like a
It's not a
huge
star-studded
stars to like Jingle All the Way had like 4 or 5 people that you're like, oh fuck, these are
Right, an action film star who's trying to do something
Yeah, and-
different. I get that.
yeah,
Everyone
okay.
has different ups and downs in their career.
Jesus Christ. So
for sure.
the Santa Claus 1994 is directed by John Pasquin, who I really didn't know, but he's been doing a bunch of shit with Tim Allen. Home Improvement. He was I think a writer on.
So Tim Allen probably
Possibly.
picked him.
Possibly a director. Jungle to Jungle, great fucking
Love
movie.
that movie.
Last
That's a
Man
fun movie.
Standing,
Siku.
and some other. Maybe Siku, that's right. That's his fucking name. But yeah, other TV shows and all that stuff. So I just thought it was interesting to mention here. The plot of the Santa Claus though is Tim Allen plays Scott Calvin, who is
Scott
a
Calvin.
single father.
Divorce. Well, yeah.
Divorced.
So, divorced father that has his kid on Christmas Eve. He reads him the night before Christmas poem, and then Santa ends up coming to the house. He kind of startles him. Santa falls off the roof.
Kill Santa.
Falls off the roof, and then from there, he puts on, because the kid is whining. He puts on the coat, puts on the everything,
Pants.
and the magic starts to happen. He ends up being Santa. He thinks it's a dream, and then basically throughout the next year, you see him evolving into Santa. He's gaining weight. He gets the beard, and the last part is that the kid is like psyched to tell everybody. He's like, "Hey, my dad is Santa here," and it ends up causing more problems because obviously they think that the kid is delusional, and the father is trying to make him like him more.
Reality,
I think it kind of buried the lead a little bit though, where the movie's called The Santa Claus. Claus is in a contract. He reads the card, and by reading the card and putting on Santa's outfit, he essentially agrees to become Santa Claus, which he does not realize till he gets to the North Pole. We'll get into that later. I'm just saying that's the clever part of the movie with the E. It's kind of why it's spelled that way. So we had to mention that.
Absolutely right. That is part of the title there. I was just looking at I kind of mentioned the dream scenario aspect.
You mentioned the basic plot.
He was kind of in the at least initially of like, this is just a dream.
I just thought you mentioned he did not want to be Santa Claus initially.
Right.
It was because of the Santa Claus. Right. He has to be.
I think that again,
which is why he becomes him.
It more of again because he was like, I see it, but I don't believe it. So like, it's not real to him that, hey, I just put on a suit and now I'm fucking the Santa Claus. Like, it's crazy shit. All right, so let's start with kind of experience with the movie when you saw it. I mean, this is again another one of those that just was like,
well,
perfect time for me. I'm gonna go first.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were through kicking it to us.
No.
Didn't it sound like he was kicking it over?
No. That's all right. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
An aristocrat over there. Okay.
Sorry, I was taking it from here.
Take it away, my liege.
So this is a movie that comes out in a perfect time frame because it is a PG movie, children's movie, Christmas movie, all that stuff. I am, around this age, 3, don't really remember it or whatever, but as unfortunately my parents divorced when I was a younger kid, this is one of the only Christmas movies that I can really think of where like separation and stuff plays like a vital
I was thinking that when I was watching it, I'm like, but that's why Woj liked this movie. I bet it contributed to it.
I think it definitely helps with a lot of Christmases, in terms of like you see something where you're like, it's, going through. I really enjoy the movie the most just because I think Tim Allen is a great Santa Claus.
So
like he fits into it. And then I also love like kind of the quick-witted comments that he throws in there and stuff like that.
So good.
Very good.
So we'll go into the quotes on those. But Ryan, tell us about your kind of experience.
Similar. Like, my parents weren't divorced or anything like that. Sorry to hear, I know, for you. But
all good.
I was 5 when this came out. I definitely saw this when it came out. It was a staple for me growing up. It's kind of always been like my favorite, if not among them, but I would say it's probably my favorite. And like you, around this time is Tim Allen is the man. Home Improvement's been on for like 4 seasons at this point. I love him in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Jungle to Jungle later would come. Other things. Anytime Tim Allen was in something, I was like, I love Tim Allen. Toy Story, just whatever.
Right.
And this is just great. Like he's like you said, his performance makes the movie for me. He's so fun. I'm sure most of it he probably just came up with on the fly, like Bobby said. Like we're just like, oh, that's funny. Like or like I don't think like to me it doesn't seem like it was all written by the guy. Like Tim Allen probably had some input on this.
Like it wasn't a table read
right,
from front to
like
back,
he was kind of like, oh, this might be funny here, or I can do this
Inject
here.
a little bit of his
like,
own humor.
Like for example, we'll get into like this scene where he's doing the thing with the doll. He's using the doll's dress to wipe his face. I'm sure he came up with that on his own.
I mean, I think it helps definitely that he's a comedic actor, and when he was doing Home Improvement, which is one of my favorite shows, absolutely, you could definitely see that it's very similar to. Like, you could kind of see if, like, oh, if Tim the Toolman Taylor, rather, is the name of his character in that. Like, if he ended up being in the Santa Claus.
That someone like Jesse the Body Ventura wouldn't do as well in this type of role because an action star in a comedy role just never really sells.
You know what I'm going to buy, Bobby? I'm going to buy a fucking thing that, like a...
Just shut up.
It's like an alarm clock. You know, like that thing in Chappelle's Show where it's like, wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
But it's just going to say, Bobby talking out of his ass right now. And we're just going to hit that. And then,
that's fine.
Then the audience knows.
So Jesse the Body Ventura is a
silent majority.
Not a good actor.
Silent majority here.
Hey, I mean, he was great in...
Predator. That's it.
That's like having Apollo
Major
Creed
League
try
2.
to do like the Grinch.
He was great in Major League 2. I think he was one of the stars of the fictional movie that Omar.
Yeah, Apollo Creed can't do comedy. Oh wait, he's Chubbs and Happy Gilmore.
Okay, here we go.
Oh,
so isn't funny.
Stop diverting.
Get the fuck out! What? You're saying Chubbs isn't funny?
I don't think that his role in itself is meant to be humorous.
Please.
Oh my God.
We're venturing on this highway real quick. We did Happy Gilmore already. Chubbs is undoubtedly one of the funniest people in the movie. back me up, please.
I agree with Ryan wholeheartedly. Bobby, you have
I
no
think he's
idea.
definitely
Stop
lower
trying
on,
to work your points with
Oh
bad
my God,
points.
he's lower on the roster. I think Shooter's funnier than him. I think Happy Gilmore.
And
Okay,
that's-
again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about is he
not-
funny or is he not? We're not
I
ranking
think
them.
his role worked out to be that way. Not
Yeah,
so much him being the prime candidate.
No.
He's not the
Stop
face
trying to
of
shape
Happy
it to your
Gilmore.
argument because it's not working for you.
He's not the face of Happy Gilmore.
Of our 95,
He's a huge part of it.
of our 95 subscribers, I bet you 95
Grizzly
would
Adams also
disagree
had
with you.
a fucking call out. That was
If
just
we had to
as fun.
go, if you were power ranking the fucking movie, it'd probably be Happy, Shooter, Chubbs in that order. Boom, suck it. Let's move
Bob
on.
Barker. Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so
Even that other guy who ran him over.
Bobby, it's on you to tell us your experience. Or Ryan,
I
don't know.
did.
Okay, so
So I hit a nerve, but that's okay. It needed to
okay,
be said.
what's your experience
No,
with the
I
Santa
love this
Claus?
movie. I've seen it, since I was a kid, since I was young. Tim Allen, like you said, was popular early 90s. Loved watching anything he was in it, so this worked out perfect. Great selection.
Okay, so you feel like you weren't too old for it because it definitely plays around Santa and like 94. It's not like you're an
I'm
old.
6.
No, I'm not saying it's like you're an old man at that point.
Bobby might have been.
But I'm just saying in terms of like I could see some like movies that you just like, oh yeah, I watched them when I was 6 and then I haven't revisited. But you actually said that you enjoy the movie still.
I enjoy it
As,
still.
like,
I
going
think
back
I
to it.
watched it obviously as a kid, but then I watched it through my teen years. Like
Okay,
it was
nice,
always
nice,
I
nice.
think a staple.
Okay,
it was
yeah.
always fun.
To me, that I feel the same way.
Staple to me.
This is we're cranking this out
I
every.
got it. Yes, we are. Cranking away. Crank. All right, anyway. I had this on VHS and DVD.
I got the VHS as well.
You're such a purist. Yeah, we should have watched it on VHS.
No, fuck that. That's terrible quality.
Great on VHS.
Agree with Woj.
I fucking love it. All right, so let's get into scenes. Because I like the movie so much, there is definitely a point.
It's going to cross over quotes a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely will. I would just say is that my favorite scenes that I enjoy are more of like for example, I put the night before Christmas from getting into the sleigh to waking up in the morning. Like there's so many different scenes in there because it goes to different houses and delivers presents.
I have that also. I also like before that when he arrives at the house before the Santa comes, all the back and forth with the wife and Neil is fucking hilarious as well. And they go to Denny's.
Right.
Love
The Denny scene and then him like with the fire extinguisher twice
Yeah.
after it reignited.
Those flames were huge, Dad. Yeah, turkey's funny like that.
Yeah. I was just saying, mine's just a more like I have that kind of thing.
Sure.
I do enjoy those scenes as well, but it's really just kind of the night before. There's so much stuff, like just scene to scene to scene, and I didn't want to be like, oh, then he goes to that one house. But the specific part of that is when he delivers the canoe, and he puts it up against a tree, falls over, and then
knocks
just
the tree
throws the oars over and just fucking
Well,
walks out.
If I can add on to that, Woj.
Go ahead.
All those houses. The first one, the dog, nice teeth. It's growling at him, and the guy with the shotgun. Also, he has like the whole thing before where he's like, I'm gonna go down their house in my underwear. The way he says it, he's like, I hope the guy that lives here is a tailor.
Reference Tool Time.
No, it's not actually, but I thought it was when I was a kid.
What
The
is
tailor is like a guy who makes pants.
Taylor is
I think it's
an
a
actual
no. It's just like
profession
a
that-
simple like they.
See, I thought that too when I was a kid, but tailor is actually a person who clothing who makes.
Right, I understand that. I'm just saying though is
Alters,
that you could have said
Tim the
Taylor. You could have said something else. Like
That'd been funny.
I
bet
think
his
it's
name's
just
Tim and he's
it's
a
just that
tailor,
they
that'd be
it's just a coincidence that
right.
is funny that the
There's
character's
no big
name
coincidences or little
the
coincidences. just
character's name in
coincidences.
Home Improvement was Tim the Toolman.
I would just
got it.
also specifically like to mention where he drops off the things to the little girl. The chimney it becomes a chimney. It's not a chimney. It's a smokestack or whatever. Then it forms into a chimney, and he goes down there, and he's has the whatever, and he's like, actually, can I read
Hey,
it?
what's that?
Yeah.
What's that iron? Bobby, you know what this is? It's an iron.
Mantle?
No, it's an iron thing.
It's
that
like a
gets-
radiator.
Radiator.
Yeah, she has a radiator.
Yeah,
in
and
their
it
house.
just has an exhaust pipe.
So-
Right.
Her name's Sarah. She's like, Santa? He's like, Scott Calvin. How come your clothes are so baggy? Because Santa is watching saturated fats.
And taps his.
And I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah. How come you don't have a beard? Because I shaved. You want this doll or not? Go back to sleep. And then she goes, you're supposed to drink the milk. Look, I am lactose intolerant. I'm just about this close. Taking all his friends back up the chimney. You're supposed to drink the milk. He like makes fun of her, and he's like, shut your eyes.
Yeah, turn around.
I mean, yeah, at that point in the movie, he is reluctant.
He's not feeling it.
Because just in general, the kid, Charlie, right?
Yeah.
Charlie in this movie is
Horrible.
very much about like
he's a child actor.
You
Jesus.
don't want to do anything I want to do, and he's saying like, hey, why don't you put on the suit and go down the chimney and deliver toys? Which any kid in that situation would say that shit. But like he's definitely at that point like kind of steaming. But then you see kind of like a nice switch though. Because then he's like, oh, yeah, this is great. I'm fucking it. Tomorrow, I'm going to get a CAT scan.
Tomorrow, I'm going to CAT scan. Dad, how did it feel? It felt like America's Most Wanted.
I'll just say this. I think that him on the phone when he's like, oh, yeah, I'm stuck in traffic. Like that whole bit, that whole 5-minute bit of him bullshitting all the way back.
Oh, here's the problem with 3-car pileup. Way to drive, lady.
I love that. I was like, right out of the gate, you know, he's just already creating narrative.
Right. And then in the beginning, too, like to add on to that, when they arrive and he's like, oh, how come, why don't you invite Neil in? He doesn't want to come in, Dad. He says you'll say something snobby. Could be mean, could be sarcastic, whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's that guy for sure. Love him.
We'll get to that in a second here. I do enjoy the doctor scene where he's getting checked out because he's gaining. He said he's like 45 pounds in a week, and his hair is turning white and growing out from his beard.
I have that
solid beard. I'll give him that.
He's like, I don't know, Sky, you're as healthy as a horse. Yeah, Clydesdale. And he slaps his stomach. A little weights look like a little weight to you. I shave in the morning, afternoon. I look like this.
What about when he orders food at the business meeting?
We'll do the business meeting. That is definitely a separate section that we'll get into there.
Got that.
The table read on
everything else besides the business meeting, because we'll parlay that right into quotes.
Okay. Besides the business meeting,
I just had one other like quick scene, which it wasn't a whole thing, but like they do the Santa Claus lineup because basically at the end of the movie, Scott Calvin kidnaps his kid technically when he realizes like he's like fulfilling Santa's prophecy.
Right, technically he lost custodian.
Right, they said you're being delusional, and then he takes the kid away, and they got the police going for him, looking for him and stuff like that, and they start rounding up Santas. Always gets me every time. They're like, all right, turn to your left. And then one guy turns to his right.
And he's just confident. He's standing there.
Dude, it's so great. All right. Anything else besides the meeting?
Dude, yeah. I mean, briefly, I'm just going to say the waitress scene, the beginning at the Denny's, the back and forth with them is funny. Plain milk's fine. I always say that.
Dude, this fucking, I mean, you got to do it justice. Though,
I have it if you want me to go through it. I just didn't know if you were trying to fucking fly or you wanted me to.
No. I'm saying, like, if you got the quotes to go
I got it. All right. Burn the turkey. Ooh. Coffee? No, thank you, Judy. What do you say we start out with cold glasses of traditional seasonal favorite, eggnog? I don't like eggnog. We're out. Coffee, decaf. Mm-hmm. Sure. Hot chocolate milk, please. We're out. Plain milk's fine. At least we got the hot apple pie.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
I love it that all the dads there are with their kids. Like obviously had an issue at home.
Definitely. Whoa! I thought you were going to mention it. The take your child to work day scene. Along with the meeting afterward in particular. I don't know if you're going to save that.
So I got the quotes in there.
Okay, you want to save for quotes?
I don't. No. Let me just say, like, I didn't mention every single scene because, again, this is one of my favorite movies. So I would be just going like, oh, yeah, this scene and then this scene and then this scene throughout the whole movie.
The take your child to work day scene is great.
The take your child to work scene is great. I prefer, like, my favorite part of that scene, is the meeting after.
Yes, I agree.
Where they go really into it, which we definitely
But there are funny parts of, like, when he's like, why don't we have Dr. Miller? And then he's like, it's okay if Dad goes first. Well, if that's how you feel, that's how he feels, Neil. and then he's like, so if I push you off a roof, that makes me Santa Claus or whatever. Like, the kids just think he's, and then it's like,
right. Well, Charlie goes up and says, my dad is Santa Claus. Right. And he's like, well,
I'm like
what I think
Santa
he means
Claus.
to say is we're like Santa Claus. We're both jolly. We both
make
only
toys,
work, and we both work one day
a year. And then
the little
that's the elves,
Scotty
stupid.
Guy. He's like, do you make the toys? No, that's the elves, stupid. Scotty, we don't say stupid, and we don't say elves. They're little people.
But they really are elves.
Right. I love that they're trying to PC him. And I was like, that's just funny.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bob.
Sorry. One of the scenes that I guess got me in terms
Her name was
of,
Mary Cross, by the way. That
the
teacher.
feel goods was when he's up in his like penthouse suite and he looks out onto like the North Pole. I was like, dude, that's just so cool. Like cinematography, best scene right there was that whole like layout.
I mean, I definitely think the North Pole they do it very like it's very nice. It's extravagant. They do the doors that kind of have the stained glass in them. Mm-hmm. And that and what you're talking about, you know, they do a little scene. Hey, is that a polar bear directing traffic?
Yeah.
So we're doing the meeting for the quotes. You're saying? I just want to clarify.
Yeah. That. So as we kind of get into quotes, I obviously wrote them down kind of more.
Also the police interrogation scene, is that for quotes as well?
Yes.
That was
many there. Yeah.
I had to mention that one
because this is what because we're gonna definitely tackle quotes here in a second.
Sure, I just they kind of intertwine.
For sure, I just didn't want to go through and go like, oh yeah, this scene is great, because again, I would just simply say the whole movie.
If I can mention a quick
scene.
Brief moment.
Go ahead.
When they arrive at the North Pole. And they're like, Scott's like, what the fuck? Who's in charge? And they keep saying, you're in charge. Yeah. You are. He's like, no, where's your boss? You're the older one. He's like, I have shoes that are older than you. And then they're like, they do that. He hits his head on the fucking door when he goes into the bedroom because it's like an elf door.
Well, it's what are those split doors? I forget what they're called.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part though is when he starts undressing and the marionettes are like, ah!
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's like these little tiny like scenes to me that are like a minute and a half or like a minute, and that's I think what we're keen like when we're talking about the meeting. The meeting scene overall is like a mid and 20 seconds.
It's a very
or whatever.
Quick scene, but it's funny.
That's great. The interrogation scene that you're talking about, as he's getting to the like you said, the beginning part where he's like kind of roasting Neil as he's talking with the wife.
Also, when he comes to pick up Charlie and Charlie's upstairs with the reindeer, they're like chairs. He's pretending they're reindeer.
Yeah. And
Scott's like, "Where is he?" Well, he could be listening to records, jumping him down his bed and wearing a red hat and galoshes. I don't care what Neil's doing. Where's Charlie? And then he goes in there and like Neil's like, Scott, I think, right now he's just, whatever, he gives like an analysis, and then he's like, that's great, Neil.
He's a psychiatrist.
The only thing you need to worry about, though, is where you're going to buy your sweaters if the circus pulls out of town. And then Neil's like, you're right about the sweaters.
To the wife, yeah, that's so great. Let's get to quotes. Right. So I will tell you that time over time, my favorite... Not my favorite, but like one of my favorite quotes is right in the beginning. It's almost like 30 seconds into the movie where they're getting awarded or congratulated.
I think I know where you're going.
Congratulated about they're the marketing team. Tim Allen, Scott Calvin, and this other lady is the marketing team directors. They had this "Do It All for Your Dolly" toy that made them
Do It All Dolly
company millions of dollars, right? And the lady, what's her name? Real quick, I got it. It's Susan. So him and Scott and Susan come up. She's like, we want to thank everybody out here. He's like, well, we don't have time for that. In all serious, here at B&R Toys, we're not just about making a profit and making quality toys. We're about family. But those families aren't here right now, and that's probably why Johnson's secretary is sitting on his lap.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that.
And they just like, it's so fucking like, just pass over it. And everybody's like, oh, yeah.
You going... Christmas at Neil's parents' house. Oh, Christmas at the Pound.
90s were a different time, man. I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, and then like right from there, he's driving. And he's like, "Same to you," and that's not very ladylike.
So good.
Go.
Quick ones? We're just going to the quick ones?
I want him to run through the quotes. I know you have a bunch.
Everything except the meeting, because we're going to do the meeting
quick
and the
ones,
lineup.
You said already, Merry Christmas to all and all, good night. And when I wake up, I'm getting a CAT scan. Oh, I like when, sorry, yelled a little bit there. When the parents are finally leaving, it's just going to be Scott and Charlie. He's like, 4 hours? Spent to cook a turkey, didn't even start it yet.
Yeah. And, he's like, Neil's like, Neil's a psychiatrist, or Neil's a doctor. He's like, he's not a doctor. He's a psychiatrist.
Neil's head also comes to a point.
You like Osobuco, Charlie?
Yeah, Osobuco, Charlie.
Do you know what Osobuco is? Isn't it like a Italian?
That's like a
rice?
Meat thing, I think.
I have no idea. We don't fact check anything.
Like when
here.
Comet farts, he's like, "Easy, Rudolph."
everybody likes Denny's. It's an American institution. And then quickly they pan to the Hatsutashi party, which is like a bunch of Asian businessmen.
That's great. Yeah. Are you part of the Hatsutashi?
Are you with Hatsutashi?
No, Dad burned the turkey.
Dad burned the turkey.
Oh, okay, this way. Well, we made good time.
He fell. Not my fault. Like when he's like going through it, like because the guy, the Santa
he's walking
falls.
through his like liability.
Yes,
he entered onto my property.
He's doing one of these. Like he fell off the roof.
Whoa, Dad, you're flying. It's okay. I'm used to it. I lived through the '60s.
That is one of the best lines.
You just run through your highlighters.
Charlie, stay away from those things. They're reindeer. You know where they've been. They look like they're key lime disease.
Yeah, the key lime. Yeah.
I like when they get to the North Pole. And he's like, Bernard, solid dude, man. Throughout the entire movie, always cracks me up. He's like, "Are we on a coffee break?" And then the little elf's like,
"We don't drink coffee.
We don't drink coffee." Then I guess the break is over.
I had that one.
When
I'm your worst nightmare when the elves
come. ELFS.
Yeah.
It was a dream. Stuff like doesn't happen. It was a dream. Come on. I don't even wear pajamas. Normally I sleep naked. Buck naked. Ha! Good morning, Mrs. McCoy. Mary Catherine.
I guess sometimes wear boxers.
When he's at speaking of the liability, he's at the North Pole, and Bernard is explaining the clause to him.
He goes,
"Wait a minute, I know where this is going. It wasn't my fault. The other guy fell. It was an accident. I've got homeowners insurance and a good attorney. Well, not as good as my wife's ex-wife, but let's not bring that up."
Yeah. Hey, Charlie, you know call 911? Sure, call 911.
You know what he does? He said, "Stay here." This is what pissed me off. He's like,
"Dude,
all right, you stay here." The moment he says "stay here," he books it.
Charlie, don't go up there. Fucking climbs up the ladder.
Right, dude. I'd be like, "All right, you're about to, cut me a switch real quick. We're gonna."
Right.
Classic. Nice sweater. Yeah. Do we make this?
Laura, he's pulling us into his delusions. I just like
you do the Phil Hartman thing, and I love it.
They do he does like kind of the same joke. He's like when he's trying to remember Bernard.
Listen, Barabbas.
Listen, Barabbas, and then the other one is listen, Barnaby.
Yeah, look, Barnaby. I just want to go home.
Who's the girl elf that gives him the hot cocoa? I like
Judy.
Her. Judy, love Judy.
1,200 years.
She's like, I'm dating someone in rapping. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that was it. It's like 1,200 years. I must say, you look good for your age. Yeah. Thanks, but I'm dating someone
in rapping.
Here's Neil's mother's number: 1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
All right, so let me just roll through because I see the.
Wait, hold on.
No, you're good. You're good. Keep going. I'm just saying.
Bernard. Jesus, bird is dry. Have people heard of basting?
Yeah, that's good. When he's walking through the street and he's got the Santa magic, so he can tell like, oh, Scotty naughty, Gary nice, Veronica very nice, in your dreams, sleigh boy.
This thing, you never know where it's been 1,000 malls. Well, hope you're happy, Comet. Hope you're happy. But most importantly, hope the guy that lives here is a tailor. Yeah. So I kind of did that before, but that was the whole thing.
It's all good, man. I like when they're at the like courthouse doing a basically like an emergency meeting with
family,
this family advisor guy. And they're basically Laura and Neil are going over like when they lost
custodial shit.
Like when they lost faith in Santa.
Right. That stupid wiener whistle.
And Neil's
weenie whistle.
She was like, I was 9.
That's a dumb gift to be.
And I wanted Mystery Date, and he was like, I was 3, and it was an Oscar Mayer weenie whistle. Christmas came and went. No weenie whistle.
Funny bit, but it's like, dude, that early, I don't think I even have a memory like 4 or 5 years old.
But it was great comedy.
I liked it that soccer game. He's like, Scott, I really think you got a problem. Why don't you give me a call? Here's my card.
I got when the Santa gets arrested and he's like, nice and slow, fat boy. Fat boy?
Or when he dyes his hair and he shaves and then comes back and he's like, I'm in big trouble. Mm-hmm. Also, when he gets the list of the box of lists, he's like, Armand Asante?
I love that.
I love that.
He's got like 30 different like luggages full of the list to review.
I think I flew through most of the quick ones.
You did good. There was one more that I'm not remembering, but now I remember because you said some. Is like when Charlie was like, I talk to Neil all the time. He's like, yeah, and then he charges you for it.
Yeah, he charges you for it.
All right.
You should see him walk on
I like
water.
that he shits on Neil.
Yes, that's the one.
Say it again, one more.
You should see him walk on water.
What's the first part? Hold
Dude,
on.
Tim Allen, like that's just.
He's like, Neil's a real good cook. Yeah, and you should see him walk on water. Sorry, go ahead.
I know, like I think his delivery and timing, pace, everything about his one-upsmanship or like comebacks, perfect timing, perfect everything. Like you can't teach that. Tim Allen's a funny dude.
He's hilarious.
Definitely. All right, Ryan. So let's get into the.
So I think there are. Well, as I mentioned there, I think there are. We're going to get into it. The three that I think we should do would be the meeting, the
police interrogation,
the police interrogation, the school meeting, and the business meeting lunch.
Yes,
whichever order you like to do them in, I don't care.
Let's just switch it up so that you get.
I just want to know which one. So
well,
I can.
For the school meeting, I think there's really only the one. Chunk.
Do you want me to be Neil? You want to be Scott?
I'll be Scott for that.
I'll be
one.
Neil. Okay.
Yeah.
Scott, you ready?
No, I'm not. Thank you. I appreciate you pausing. That was great. I need to find it real quick.
I'm Judge Reinhold. He is Tim Allen.
Okay, here we go. Okay, go ahead.
Scott, what was the last thing you and Charlie did before you went to bed Christmas Eve?
Shared a bowl of sugar. We had some shots of brown liquor. Played with my shotguns. Field dressed a cat. Look for women. I read him a book.
What book?
Hollywood Wives.
Hollywood Wives. The night before Christmas. I was, come on.
Yeah. I had that one for that, and then I can do the other side.
The detective one or the business one?
I'll do the detective for you because the business one is a little bit more.
I'll send it to
Well, you have the business one.
I have it pulled up right here too. Are we going from the beginning of the business one, or I have the beginning?
I just sent you the script. Who wants to pull it up? Who wants to be Scott? Who wants to be?
Which part? I'm saying I have the beginning when he walks in with the sweatpants. Or are we going to skipping to the part where they go to the total tank?
No. You have to do the whole. Yeah, the lunch one, but it's the
when
whole
he walks
meeting.
In, all right, so we have Scott Calvin, we have the waiter, and we have Mr. White.
Mr. Whittle.
Whittle. Sorry, who wants to be Mr. Whittle?
I'm Scott Calvin.
All right, I'll be Mr. Whittle. And
okay, you also didn't.
You'll be the waiter.
There's an image of something. Okay, are you starting with "Good God, Your Way"? What happened? Is that what we're going? That's what I have.
Did I miss anything? I was going. I sent it to you in our chat.
Yeah, no, it's right here. You got this?
I have it. There's a little bit ahead of it. Where Mr.
Right,
Whittle.
No, but he's got all of the different people there. It's for us, but you got your part right. I'll be Susan. You be, or no, you're gonna be Susan, right?
I was going to be Mr. Whittle and business guy.
You be Mr. Whittle, and I'll be Susan.
Okay. Did you get it?
Mr. Whittle starts with "Good God, Your Way, What happened?" And then I go, "Bee sting. Evidently, I'm allergic. Almost killed me. The guy in the emergency room says that eventually the swelling will go down. I hope. Did I miss anything?" And
there you go.
No, here we go. No, we're here. Just about to order lunch.
Great. I'm starving.
I'll have the salad and iced tea, dressing on the side.
Pasta and tomatoes, and a very light on the oil. Can you do that?
And I'll have a Caesar, no dressing. And one of those homemade cookies, the warm chocolate chip, no nuts, no nuts. A little slice of cheesecake and creme brulee and hot fudge sundae, extra hot fudge. On the side.
Anything to drink?
Ice cold milk. And then
stung by a bee, Scott?
A big bee.
All right, then it flashes forward to the end of the thing. Finished.
Dun dun.
Yeah, I love that, dude.
That was good. Good job, guys. Good tailoring.
It's such a '90s thing, though, to do the sound though. Like it's a timpani, where it's like don don
dun dun.
All right, so
and then we want to continue on to the
the guy is like. I'm just going to start the first part because it's not really important.
It's a two-man thing. So
but I'm just saying it's not really important what the guy says.
Well, let me get it to where I'm ready. Hold on.
Oh, my God. Bears forced a fumble. Didn't get back.
Okay, finished. I finished. Okay, now remember. Are you the business guy or sorry?
I'll be the business guy.
Do you know what he's saying or do you want me? Do you need
I'm just saying for the...
It's like this is just a storyboard, but this is our preliminary Total Tank TV spot.
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay, now we got Santa. He's up at the North Pole. He's getting ready for Christmas. Oh, no. Problem is just a little thing. Oh, sorry. Fuck, I'm doing Scott now. Problem. Just a little thing. The elves. They look kind of funny.
They're elves. They're supposed to look funny.
No, but they're supposed to more look like children with glitter on their cheeks and happiness in their face. And
he's like, can we get back to the presentation? And then he's like,
now
this year, Santa's riding out.
He's not going on a sleigh.
He's going out total tank.
Whoa. Wait a minute. No way. Santa's going to ever ride his sleigh. And you go, he would if he's trying to sell the total tank.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that a pretty picture? Santa rolling down the block in a Panzer. Well, kids, I certainly hope you've been good this year. It looks like Santa Claus just took out the Pearson home. Incoming! Oh, please. And another thing, what about the reindeer? Reindeer and Santa and reindeer? It's kind of a package deal. I mean, don't you think?
Isn't then the next part, though, he's like, the other thing about Total Tank is that if you build it.
Have you ever tried to build a total tank? It's got
10,000 pieces.
Even when you do, it breaks in 10 minutes later. You got to spend more money to buy new parts.
Isn't that what we're trying to do here?
No. What we got to do is develop a basic, simple, inexpensive toy that will nurture a child's creative thinking.
Yeah.
Here, try the brown ones. He had some of the cookies.
That was great. That was such a good delivery.
See a doctor, see a psychiatrist, get some help.
Get some dietitian, get some help.
Oh, that was good.
No.
All right. Now the pied de resistance.
Do you want me to be the detective? Or
you can be Scott. You can be Scott Calvin because I got this whole one.
Okay.
Oh man, and you get it.
I'm ready for this. I'm putting my mic down. I'm just watching.
Dude, this one's the greatest, man. So
I'm Scott Calvin.
They're in the interrogation room. Classic 90s, 80s interrogation. You got the smoke going.
He kidnapped Charlie like on Thanksgiving. They're coming back on Christmas. And he went back to Laura and Neil's house. They were waiting for him, and they've captured him, and now he's in the interrogation.
Right. So the police chief comes up to me and he goes, look, I know you're Scott Calvin. You know you're Scott Calvin. So let's make this simple. I say name. You say Scott Calvin. Name.
Kris Kringle.
Name.
Santa Claus.
Name.
Père Noël. Babbo Natale. Paris Nicole. Topo Shisho. Okay, Calvin. Maybe a couple hours in the tank will change your mind.
Oh, man, dude. That is that is literally from this movie.
That was great.
It's without a doubt my favorite quote. Papo
I have two little factoids
about
this movie. In France, guess what they leave out at the end of the night?
I don't know what.
Carrots for the reindeer.
Oh, is that what that? Okay.
And in the UK, guess what they leave out?
Condoms.
Tea and crumpets.
What?
Minced meat pie.
That sounds fucking awful.
But and then last factoid is when the kid was talking in his career day, and throughout the whole movie, the Santa falling off his roof was scripted. Because every time you actually watch
there's elves in the background.
Elves everywhere.
Yeah, I saw that too.
There's elves, and like every scene where they're not laughing at the kid, that they're listening in, you can see their ears pointed.
It is a weird thing. Like they never really explain that.
Which I'm glad they didn't.
We'll get to that in pickiness, though. I'm just gonna kind of speed through a couple categories.
Yeah, run through it.
So I mean, just in terms of the cast and kind of like a that guy type of thing. Judge Reinhold has been in a bunch of shit. Prolific acting career for sure. You said Wendy Crewson, who played Laura, was in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I had her because every time I see her, I'm like, oh, it's the mom from the Santa Claus. But she's also in like The Good Son. She was in 24, the third season. She was President Palmer's wife.
Okay.
I had Charlie's teacher. I don't know what she's in, but I've seen her in something. I think
her name was Mary Gross.
Scott's coworker, Susan, she was in Dexter and Guess Who with Bernie Mac. She's the wife.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I think Peter Boyle's Peter Boyle, but
Peter Boyle
some people might
prolific
say that.
Peter Boyle.
I think, though, the winner.
Go Bernard or
the
go
school
Neil.
Psychiatrist is the lady from Sunny who works at the welfare office.
Right, dude.
I don't know. That was my choice, I think.
She's like,
I'm going
you
Neil or Bernard.
are a recovering crackhead.
Yeah.
And she is mentally retarded.
If we're talking about that guy, now if we're talking about the supporting award,
I would go
Neil or Bernard.
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of that guy, I think David Krumholtz kind of is up there.
But he had his
too.
own show. Like he had that number show or whatever or something.
No, I'm saying though is that David Krumholtz to me, like I don't think a whole lot of people would go like, oh, this guy is in the Santa Claus because he's younger.
True.
He's like 18, 20.
I would say most people who watch Harold and Kumar or
definitely
Freaks and Geeks or anything with those guys, you probably recognize. There's 10 Things I Hate About You.
People that love the more fringe stuff. That's what David Krumholtz is.
Also, I think that the fact that he had his own show where he was the star of on CBS for 6-7 years.
Oh.
Most people probably know who he is.
Okay. I would also just throw out Larry Brandenburg. We're kind of doing a reverse because he was in another movie, and then I mentioned, that's the police chief or detective from Santa Claus.
Well, the guy with the donut who gets spun around?
No. Larry Brandenburg, this guy.
Oh, the guy who's detective, whatever.
Which one did we just do?
The name thing?
Jingle All the Way?
No, I don't think he was in that one.
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah, he was definitely
No.
I
don't think he was in it was another movie that we did, like not a Christmas movie.
Well,
so like we were like
archives.
Oh, that's the guy from Santa Claus, and you were like flipping your shit. Look back at the tape. You'll see it.
We'll scroll back.
Okay.
Okay. Either way, that was what was happening there.
Yeah.
Last thing I just want to mention. So, Philip Williams. Okay, so this motherfucker who plays, he's like he's a sniper at the house when they call in the SWAT team and all that shit.
Yeah. Right.
And he is also in, if I can get to the fucking right.
Is that the main elf dude from Elf? ELF?
No.
Or whatever. Elves?
No, this is a grown man. He's shown on whatchamacallit for like 10 seconds. He's Danny. I know you're not a big Chris Farley guy, but he's Danny in Tommy Boy, who's like one of his boys. I mean, for the guys that watch Tommy Boy.
In his college, right?
Yeah, he's like one of... No, it's not in college, but it's one of his friends with the, like, I don't know. It's tougher to explain, but he's also in Good Will Hunting. He's a head custodian. Just want to mention that one real quick.
I know what you're talking about now.
And then, okay, guys, for those of you who have watched Home Improvement, Jimmy Labriola, okay? This guy. He fucking played...
Is he the guy, the truck driver on I-94
The truck
West
driver.
He's one of Tim Allen's friends, right? The group of friends. He's like the three guys, like Al, him, and the coach from The Replacements.
Yeah.
Who owns the store, the hardware store.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find his fucking name in this shit. But Jimmy Labriola has always, I'm like, that's the guy from fucking Home Improvement, and that's one of his like only 3 credits. He's Benny Baroni in Home Improvement.
Yeah, he's like the dumb friend or whatever.
Yeah. He's great though. Sorry, just wanted to mention that.
No, it's good.
It's valid. Very valid.
I thought I recognized that guy. Yeah.
Okay, switching real quick to soundtrack here.
That's my phone.
Classic Christmas soundtrack. I'm just going to identify a couple here. White Christmas by the Drifters. Fucking fantastic song.
I do like that one. I also associate it with Home Alone.
Home Alone as well.
Same.
The North Pole song, which I didn't know this until I just looked up. It's called The Bells of Christmas. And I will give anybody an extra bonus point here if you can tell me what was the code that he put in on the North Pole to open up.
I think it was Ho Ho.
Was it 1 2 3 1?
It's close. It's 1 2 3 9.
Ah.
I don't know why. I just like always.
I was trying to think of like a 4-letter.
I was thinking of December 31st, but I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah, they also got "Gimme All Your Lovin'" by ZZ Top.
Yeah, that's the winner.
Song.
Can I just quick note?
Yeah, go ahead.
Every time I hear that, anytime I'm driving, I have to do the fucking thing to get your roll on or whatever.
Yeah, this is when they're getting ready.
That thing or whatever.
Yeah, they're getting ready for Santa, and they got all these new developments.
I don't know why that scene's in there, but I love it.
They're getting fucking ready to roll.
It's one of the scenes.
Yeah, tech went from 0 to 100
right.
in 1
What
year.
do I do?
Yeah,
fall
right.
off a roof.
Yeah. The main theme, though, overall is just I think it's great. It's just keeps coming back, and this is what I always pull from Christmas movies: is that like if you have a good theme, like and it keeps coming back, it's always going to be great.
I like the score that plays when he's on the roof the first time, when Santa's on Scott's roof.
Okay.
I don't know, what the name of it, but that's a good theme. I like that one.
All right. Anything else on soundtrack?
No.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Going to spin-off sequels, prequels. There's already been a ton of them. There's 2
Yeah.
different movies. There's another series, and then I think they're coming out with a second season of the series.
I didn't have anything for that. I did have something for the crossover, though, not for the spin-off prequel.
Okay, we'll get to the Switcheroo in a second here, but I mean, to me, I just go in the order, which I think a lot of people will agree on, is that the first one is phenomenal. The second one starts to get away from it, and the kid is a grown up and kind of a prick again.
Can I tell you, I have never seen the sequels, and I don't plan on it. As far as I'm concerned,
you don't want to tarnish it.
I don't think you need to see the second or third one, but you can just basically go, the first one's great, second one is worse. The third one is pretty much
for me,
unbearable.
It's like The Matrix. I don't need the other two.
Yeah,
I just need the first one.
And so the series that I did watch was, again, it's just getting worse in terms of like they're obviously trying to just keep it going, and
cash grab.
Tim Allen,
I
if he keeps playing the guy, he does a great job. I did watch the first season of the series, and I was like, it's still him as.
Wait, you said there's a series?
There's a series called The Santa Clauses.
Tim Allen's in it?
Tim Allen is.
Is this a Disney Plus or something?
Yeah, it's on Disney.
When does this come out? I'm sorry, I really missed that. I thought you were saying the movies.
4 years ago.
Oh, shit. Okay, interesting.
So it's fine, but again, it just gets kind of worse and worse there. All right, let's get to the Switcheroo. What do you got for that?
All right, I had 3 things. I think it'd be funny if at one point one of the houses, Scott drops off presents to his Tim Taylor's house with Jill and the kids.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be a fun twist.
Also, I'd love somewhere if Al Borland was in the movie somewhere.
Yes, dude.
Especially at the
maybe
like
one
elves,
just a quick pop.
He's like teaching the elves. All right, guys, for this project, we need.
Maybe he's one of the homeowners or something, or maybe I don't know, is one of the business people at the meeting. That would have
been cool to have him as a cameo. Yeah.
And then what did I have? I don't know. I was high when I did this. I wrote Sinbad and Arnold, but I don't know in which way they'd be incorporated in this. I mean, obviously, Jingle All the Way was what I was thinking.
Right.
I don't know. They can't. That one was half baked.
I was half baked, which we will do at some point.
Well, that movie was half baked. That's a good point.
You know what I would say is for my Switcheroo is I would absolutely not switch Charlie, who's played by Eric Lloyd, for Macaulay Culkin. Like switch their roles.
About that.
I would just want Macaulay Culkin in this movie.
I thought that same thing actually.
I think he would be the quintessential young kid playing, a kid on Christmas. I think he does it well.
I don't have a problem with the kid as an actor, but the Charlie character is pretty annoying, I would say. He's a real dick to Tim Allen in the beginning of the movie. Like, do I have to stay here? Come on, Mom, get here as soon as the sun's up. You're here.
Yeah, it's real
like,
shitty.
Damn, man, you're right in front. I mean, not that he's like a great father or something, but like.
Well, that's the part though that you don't get. Like, obviously, you assume that Tim Allen is not the greatest dad because obviously he's lying about traffic and staying late at the party.
Right.
But in
Very
general,
career-oriented.
like you said, the kid is a real dick face to him. And then Tim Allen's like, "Hey, I'm Santa now."
And then he keeps like.
Now you're. Go ahead.
I was like, in the beginning, he keeps like throwing Neil in his face before he becomes Santa. Like, Neil,
right, dude.
Neil's good at this. Neil
Neil's
does that.
Kid.
Neil's this.
Dude, that would
Walk
eke me a
on
little
water.
bit.
And like, shut the fuck up, Charlie, you little bowl haircut bitch. Yeah.
But I mean, even when he gets, because I
oh
have
my
seen.
God, that was savage.
I have seen the second and third one. Like when he
Get
gets
him.
older, it just becomes worse. And I think you're right. It's the character in general.
Yeah.
They made him just kind of like a whiny bitch.
And then even when he finds out he's Santa, now he loves him all of a sudden. Now they're like the best of friends, which is like it kind of seems a little odd.
When you dig deeper, yeah.
And then like what's his called now he's like telling everybody like, but Dad, I gotta tell everybody you're Santa Claus. Shut the fuck up, Charlie. I told you to keep it to yourself. You're fucking.
That's our secret.
You're going with you're doing the reindeer thing, and
you're getting into
you're going very Bobby.
You're going into picking.
I love it.
I apologize.
Which we're gonna go into, so that's fine. Anybody else?
Spinoff. We've all seen Small Soldiers.
Yeah,
I love Small Soldiers.
I think that sequel to this is since they're developing tech, they want to develop different type of toys they could keep check on people. Small Soldiers had that AI intelligence. That was the elves.
So you're saying Scott's toy company came up with the Small Soldiers, or was working with them?
I'm saying the elves after the with Scott coming in as Santa Claus. These Small Soldiers were, enveloped, deployed, or what have you, as a way of helping to monitor and keep track of, the children.
It's interesting
So
take.
Santa's using the Small Soldiers,
right?
To
I said, when they did that tech push, they're like, all right, how could we just keep a better eye on them? Small Soldiers created.
Do you have a Switcheroo or just the spinoff?
That was just the spinoff. I really don't have a good Switcheroo for this.
Okay,
one.
so let's go to Picky Nits and others. First one right out of the gate. Who has a fucking holiday party without families on Christmas Eve.
Well, maybe they're. Oh, I guess it's true that you said no families are there. You're right. I was gonna say maybe just they weren't invited because they're divorced, but maybe you're right because he said no families. That's why Johnson's his secretary.
That's why Johnson's secretary.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
It's just an odd thing. It's like that's weird.
I got plenty.
I'm just gonna touch on what you guys mentioned before. Is like you have the elves out looking like random kids so that they can. I don't know what
we don't know what they're doing.
What is the goal? Like, are they
keeping an eye on Scott?
Are there just spies everywhere? Or that's kind of what I was going to. Is that they know like this is about to happen, and they're just doing their due diligence and going, okay, we gotta, check this guy out. Which also that then brings up another point. Is like, why do you want to have? Maybe is like. Do they need Scott Calvin to become Santa to turn around? Like he's going down a path where he's just going to be...
Are you saying he was predestined to become Santa?
I'm saying like without Santa intervention, maybe he becomes the biggest piece of shit of all time and just is like, well, fuck.
Right. Like I said, I think this was definitely predetermined. So one of my pickiness is they don't really address the fact that this guy, clearly fell into his front yard.
Right.
Vanished. Like call that
He's
North Pole
somewhere.
magic, but it's just like technically a corpse vanished. That's how we should describe.
Also, on top of that, is the guy now retired and just like
right?
chilling out?
Does he go back to his normal life, or like what progresses from?
It was
that?
my impression that he faded away like pixie dust into the ether.
Well, into
the great beyond.
When you watch,
he died as Santa. You're going to.
So in the world, when you watch the second and third, like Santa basically has like a shelf life. You do it until you literally can't do it anymore. Like the second one is the Mrs. Claus part of it, where you have to get married in order to keep being Santa. The third one is some other bullshit
Jack
where
Frost.
you can, do some reversal of something.
Oh, Tim Allen and Martin Short reunited from jungle to jungle.
Well, Jack Frost was what's his name though?
Martin
Short.
Yeah,
what he said.
I said yeah.
All I'm saying is that like there's a part of this that's just like not uncovered about like. Does this guy become like the guy who vanished? Is he back like you said, living life? Is he Do you get paid to be Santa? Do you have like an account with like $2 million?
They told him to get his affairs in order. That's
right, but I'm just saying like what if you stop becoming Santa and then you're just like, yeah, you didn't get paid shit. Like, and then you're like, hey, I'm fucking broke.
It's been like 10, 12 years. It's like, all right, good luck.
And then you're a homeless person. You're like, I used to be fucking Santa Claus. This is bullshit.
Go to the mental hospital
maybe that's what happened to the first Santa. He wasn't.
That's a good point.
He wasn't acting the way they wanted, and the elves fucking planned to kill him. That's why they're in the movie the whole time.
Kind of like this is crazy. This is getting on like the Lost Boys and like Peter Pan. Eventually, they have a shelf life and they're gone.
Just so people know, any homeless person out there might be Santa Claus in a previous life. So watch
push him off a roof.
What else I got? The change. Oh, that was a picky nit of just like the
CGI.
Well, the continuity errors of like he talks in the beginning. He's talking to a male kid, like male elf, and then it switches the next, and he's talking to a female one. And they don't.
I didn't pick up on that.
It's real quick, but it's like, yeah, that's not. The CGI was something that I pointed out. It's 1994. It's the
I get
CGI
it. No,
I was going to say, actually, I think that they did a decent job of blending their limited CGI with practical effects.
Yeah.
Where they kind of did it from a distance. Like, for example, the reindeer on the roof, it says like the overhead view. Mm-hmm. And then they go back to them actually on the roof with the real, practical effects. And same thing with the lift at the North Pole. At first, from a distance, they have the thing coming down, but then when they zoom in, he's just like obviously on a regular lift. Mm-hmm. It's 94.
I think it's all right for 94.
Right? No, I'm not trying to.
At least they didn't
kick it in the teeth.
No, at least they didn't like rely on it for like most of the movie.
Exactly, that wasn't their backbone.
And I mean, the one part that I feel like they could have been better at in 94 is the fat suit that Tim Allen wears. It's like if you actually look at it more than like 2 seconds, it's like it's not really looking right, and it looks like a fat suit. So.
I didn't think they did that bad with it, to be honest.
I'm just saying is that because we've already reviewed John Carpenter's The Thing, is like it looked like their stuff, prosthetics were much better than what was that, 10, 12 years later?
It's one of the greatest practical effects.
Very true, but I'm just saying is Hollywood, you would think that they could, work that stuff out, and like be like, hey, they've done this in, what was Carpenter, 84?
82.
82? 12 years later, you're like, hey, we could probably use some of the same shit.
Well, like I said, it's a Disney film, so there's a budget.
Low budget for sure. What else you got?
I'm going to run through mine. Some of them are questions, some were picking nits. You really couldn't make Charlie chocolate milk at Denny's. You don't got chocolate fudge and milk. You can't stir it together.
I've never heard of a place fucking
We're out of chocolate
milk. Beyond those two ingredients.
I'm saying we're out of chocolate milk. Like they probably have like a pre-thing where they just hit it and it goes. But like you're telling me in the fridge you don't got hot fudge and milk and you can't stir it up.
Something up. That's some powder.
Yeah, Judy was a shitty waitress. There you go.
I have a question of this one.
We're out of it. You couldn't suggest something else?
Right.
Hey, we got key lime pie.
Well, it is Christmas to be fair.
She's also working on Christmas. I bet she's pissed.
I was going to say.
She's probably blowing dudes
I
left
don't
and right.
understand. They don't really explain it. They kind of talk about it, but they don't really give you a full... how is time slowed down for Santa Claus on Christmas Eve when he's delivering all the presents to everyone? I do like how they mentioned the roof thing and the chimney thing. That's cool.
What's that?
Charlie says in it some sort of time vortex, and they go through.
So wormhole effect.
I would counter when he's in the house, time isn't slowed down. He's normal. The dog's there. The girl. They can see him.
I like that you're going scientifically. You can't explain away the 2 minute comment.
When is the time slowed down? When they're only in the sleigh for like the 10 seconds before they go to the next house?
You're a tough guy to watch a movie with.
I don't know. They don't explain it, and they never do.
I just wanted them. It's a pickiness, as the section was for.
It's just Santa magic is kind of the umbrella that they throw them.
Why or how do parents not question or wonder how or why gifts in their house under the Christmas tree that they did not purchase?
I'd be terrified. I'd be like, what the hell is this?
There's a fucking canoe in here? What the hell? Did you buy that? No.
I'm not going to lie. This is very easily explainable, but then not explainable, okay? When that happens, it means that the world that they are portraying means that Santa Claus is real. Now, I mention a counterpoint here is that if you mention and you have if you're making Santa deliver presents, right, and you do this, then how do Laura and Neil then go, I don't believe in Santa Claus.
That's what I'm saying.
That part then becomes...
Santa is not believed to be
But I'm just saying, when we did Nightmare Before Christmas, the world just believes and knows that Santa is real. This is a movie that contradicts then that thing.
This world is more like real life where the parents buy the gifts for the children, and clearly you didn't buy a canoe for your kid. Yeah. It just shows up.
Who also would buy a fucking canoe for the kid, though?
I don't know.
Could that have been for one of the parents? But
I'm just saying, is like you would have to believe in Santa then as a 45-year-old person. Hey, man, I'll believe in Santa Claus if it gets me a fucking canoe.
Does Santa age normally or slowly like the elves? I didn't ask that. I was just curious about that.
That's I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
Where's the original Santa's wife, the Santa Claus who died on Tim Allen's roof?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. They just
because the next movie's the Santa Claus, whatever.
Mrs. Claus, yeah.
How did the toys end up at Scott's on Christmas if Santa died before he delivered them to Scott and Scott took over?
I thought about this before. I think what happened is that the first year, I feel like the elves kind of help him out and go like, hey, after a whole night of delivering presents for the first time, I think the elves just are like, here's a bunch of shit.
Kind of go along with the next question.
Can we agree that Laura sucks? I thought they could recast her.
How do Scott and Charlie get back from home from the North Pole the next day? They just wake up in their bed.
Well, and again, in the second and the third one, there's ways that they do that. And
still dumb.
At the hearing or the arbitration, Scott probably shouldn't wear Christmas colors. You look like Santa. Not a good idea. If they're accusing you of being Santa, you look like
corrupting of delusion,
corrupting your child's mind.
Last one, Scott. You probably should be expecting the police after you kidnap Charlie on Thanksgiving at their house when you go back there. Maybe be prepared. I don't know. Or maybe
why was a whole SWAT team employed for missing child on Christmas? There's no way.
I also don't understand the time. Like when he's back in the house, I'd be like, he's like, I don't have a lot of time. I'd be like, throw the fucking gifts. I'm out, bitch. Like I'm not trying to get caught.
This kind of throws into the whole time. How does time work? Because when they're in the house, the cops are at normal speed, as is he. It's not like they can't see him or he's in slow motion or anything. You know what I mean? Like, that would explain it because he's moving at 100 miles an hour, and but it's like no, he's.
I love that we were just daggering this
it's like
scientific.
If we're gonna do the category, I'm gonna do it justice.
Right, it's just things to do. Any last ones you got?
That's it. I'm good.
Okay, so
let's put a bow on it.
Let's go to ratings. Own it, stream it, rent it. Forget about it.
Woj.
I own it. I have a VHS copy of it. I think I also have the trilogy on DVD. again, one of my staple Christmas movies. Go back to it anytime. This one for me is a 9.9.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies. And for that, a 9.9. The continuity errors and stuff like that, I just kind of look past them. I think other people could get hung up on them.
That's
but
okay.
That's what I'm going with. Ryan, how about you?
I have a VHS and DVD copy of it. You know what? It's kind of hard for me comparing this movie to like normal movies because I kind of put Christmas in like its own thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm just gonna try.
Sure.
So I'm gonna give it an 8.8, which is like pretty good, you know. But again, it's a Christmas movie, so I'm not gonna usually watch it all year round type of thing. Mm-hmm. So for that, maybe I'll just take it down a little bit.
Dude, you also had a shitload of picking nits on it. So 8.8 is pretty high.
I love this
but
movie.
He also had a bunch of dialogue ready for him.
Well, the fact that this is a first that Ryan was like, well, we got to do the whole scene.
Yeah,
like, we got to do that whole thing. I was like, that's
Tim Allen
dope.
is just so fucking awesome.
So funny.
I just had a couple of quick things I want to mention real quick. Sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
I love the sweater gag throughout the whole movie with Neil and the sweaters. Ever came up with that? I don't know who came up with that. It was
that
great.
was an ongoing funny.
Good on you.
I love the 90s nostalgia, the haircuts, the cars, the old Denny's logo, everything about that.
Hell yeah.
An interesting fact, Laura, the wife, in 2014 came out as a lesbian.
Wendy Crewson.
I did not know that. I thought that was interesting.
Not really
relevant, but all right. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was interesting. It was an interesting tidbit.
All right, we'll get it.
Yeah, we love them lesbians, man.
And Bernard's look is kind of funny. He's like dreads. He's almost like a Jewish Jamaican elf. I just thought that was
was an interesting
curious
concept.
But then he acts like an 80-year-old, so that's even better.
Like
so
in Boca returning
I just wanted to mention
soup.
those. I just jotted down. I just wanted to mention those quick thoughts.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby, what you got?
I say this one. I'm not certain if, like I said, I think the right demographic own it. So I'd say own it, but I could see people streaming it. I think it's
your
I say
choice,
own it,
right?
but I'm saying for the majority of people watching are 95 and hopefully more viewers, it's something streaming.
I think the fact that the Christmas market is very saturated, that ends up leaning people to be like, okay, well, I could watch this other one though.
Right.
I like that better or whatever. Go ahead.
But I give it a 9.1 for a rating. I think that Tim Allen really brings great comedic timing to this. I think that the flow, CGI kind of went, but the flow of it, the back and forth, just everything about this from like start to finish, call it the arc. And Tim Allen, he's got that soft spot where you could believe him to be Santa. I really could believe him to be Santa Claus. And I also could believe him to be a dick, business, tycoon if he wants to be that too. Great, I guess, arc for him.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll do the movie review. We got the next movie coming out. We are going to go away from Christmas now.
Yeah.
And this is Ryan's pick.
Yeah.
What you got, baby?
Man, this is a tough choice.
Please don't kill me.
We're going to go. Should I do it to Bobby? Just kill him? No, I won't.
All right, what you got, man? Shout out to Kim.
Let's go with... How about... Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Okay.
Fucking solid choice
Absolutely.
right there.
Taking it off of Netflix on the 31st, so let's get it in while we can.
Solid.
Okay.
That's a great movie. Well, for the Journeymen Lounge podcast, I will leave you with this. Papa Gijo.
Paris Noel.
Merry Christmas,
God
y'all.
damn, dude. It's a fun season, guys.
Fun
we'll
season.
be back
We'll see you back in 2025.
next week. All right, peace out.
Next year.
Yeah.
Hate that fucking joke.